Life loves on. That is what the family of Robert McIlvaine had tattooed on their bodies and made into jewelry. It is something that Bobby McIlvaine had said in his journal, life loves on. Bobby didn't work at the World Trade Center, but he was there for a conference that morning, probably leaving the building around the time that Tower 1 fell. It was one of fewer than 100 bodies that were found almost whole. Life loves on is something that his family embraced as a legacy of all the writing that he had done and the legacy that he had left in journals and legal pads. But there was a mix-up. He never said life loves on. His eyes looked like O's, and so he really said life lives on, not life loves on. This was only discovered this year in a profile done by Jennifer Senior for The Atlantic about the McIlvaine family. Her brother was Bobby's roommate in college, and so she knew the family well and knew that this phrase, life loves on, was dramatic and powerful in their life. And when she discovered his eyes looked like O's, she was afraid to tell his mother. After all, it was tattooed on Bobby's father. It was made into jewelry that many in the family wore. But they were fine with it. But because by then life loves on was part of the memories and the legacies and the thing that they had chose to hang on to, whether Bobby said it or not. That happens when you lose someone. Think of someone you've lost and all the weird things you remember about them, the obscure things that you hold on to, and the dramatic things that they would have cared about that you can't even remember. My brother died of a 9/11 related cancer. He was at law school during the time of the World Trade Center falling, and they sent them back to law school 2 weeks later. And he, like 4,700 others since 9/11, have died of a 9/11 related illness. My thing with my brother that probably he didn't care about so much is that he loved Billy Joel. He probably liked him because most people like Billy Joel. He's pretty wonderful. But my brother was at the last play at Shea, the concerts that Joel played before Shea Stadium was destroyed and Citi Field was built. And so in my mind, that thing for my brother is dramatic and big in my mind. He would be annoyed that I made such a big deal about Billy Joel and him going to the last play at Shea, because he probably didn't care so much. It was fine, he was there. But like life loves on for the McIlvaines, it's taken on a mythic quality for me. A grief counselor told the McIlvaine family how grief works in families. Imagine everyone in your family is at the top of a mountain, and everyone in the family has broken all their bones, which means the only way they can get down the mountain is by helping only themselves. No one can help the other because everyone's bones are broken. And so you must figure out your own way down the mountain. And later the grief counselor added, some people never figure out their way down the mountain. I think we see a moment of grief that's living out in this Torah portion that we read for the Shabbat of Shuvah. Vayelech. Moses is going to die. He knows he is going to die. He's been told by God he will not cross into the land of Israel. And Moses is larger than life for the children of Israel. He's a big deal. And he is worried that he will live on with a mythic quality that he doesn't want to retain. He wants the Jewish people to accept that Joshua is now the leader. He has told Joshua, Hazak va'amatz, be strong and courageous in private, to let Joshua know he can now be their next Moses. He has told the people, he's ku va'atzmu, be strong and courageous. But they, like the McIlvaines, hold on to something mythic. And so in this act of grief and healing and redirection, Moses brings Joshua in front of the people and says, Chazak va'amatz, in front of them. Privately wasn't enough. Saying it to the people wasn't enough. In order for them to accept the reality that he is dying and Joshua is now their leader, he needs to do it in front of them in reality. And that's what happens with grief. There are the mythic moments that we have, the stories that we remember, but we're not quite sure if they happen the way we remember them. And we can't ask that person that we lost if they remember it the same way. And then there is the reality. And grief is that dance between the myth and the reality. And what is our job is to figure out how to take our broken bones when we've had a loss and make our way down the mountain. We may at times feel sadness in the depth of the valley, but if we have healed well and good, then even our broken bones, which have healed stronger than at the place where they broke, will propel us forward. And we will go forward with chazak va'amatz, with courage and strength, as the way Moses asked Joshua to do in front of the people. Shabbat shalom.